Ben has unlocked the secrets of understanding how our minds control our business and daily lives. Inside each episode, Ben shares his proven actionable items, tips, and secrets to managing the supercomputer between your ears so you can build and develop your business and start living the life you desire and deserve. This is Practical Psychology for Business with Benjamin Halpern.
Hi, and welcome to today's podcast. In this podcast, I'd like to share with you something I heard from the great Tony Robbins, and that is knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power. Action is where it all happens. You see, way too many of us think that by learning more, by understanding more, by more education, by acquiring more knowledge, we're going to do better and be successful and make money. There's a reason why Jeff Bezos says that 80% of billionaires haven't had a formal education. And that's not because formal education is a problem. It's because, you see, people rely on their formal education and think that ultimately that's what they need to succeed. And the truth is, it's what you learn beyond education. It's what you learn in the school of hard knocks. While you can start out with great education, having gone to the best schools in the world, there are things that you need to learn in the real world. And that only happens from action. By you trying something and seeing that it doesn't work, will have you rework it. There's a reason why Walt Disney, who came up with this phenomenal, great idea that he didn't learn in school, because it was a crazy concept to create, the ideas of Disneyland, Disney World, that whole world. But it required him to go to 304 banks before he got a bank to follow through. Now, nothing that he learned in school would change that reality other than making 304 calls or presentations to different banks. The reason is because every time he made a presentation, he learned another reason why his presentation was not good. And he adjusted it. And he constantly adjusted it until it was a product that a bank would buy. It's the same idea at all these successful people. Richard Branson, ultimately, till he made it big, had 400 companies. He learned from every company a new distinction, a new idea, a new concept, a new, distinction that helped him put it together better and move forward. Kentucky Fried Chicken, right? Colonel John Sanders, what it was, over 1,000 sales before ultimately he made the sale that started the process for him to become, to start the process of owning hundreds and hundreds of stores. It's every single time you do it. That's how you learn. Most successful people have had losses before they were successful, not because they didn't stick to the education they had. They still didn't get the education. By taking action, by getting out there, by doing it, that's where you learn what you need to learn. So, of course, you need knowledge, but there is a knowledge that you only can acquire from getting out there and doing the behaviors. That is where you acquire the knowledge. That is the schooling. Getting out there and selling the product, you now realize why the person didn't buy. I was by a conference, a real estate conference, last week in New York City, with the biggest greats. Larry Silverstein was there, Francine Grumberger. I mean, the biggest of the big were there. And on one of the panels, they had Bob Knackle, who's the number one commercial real estate broker in New York City. He brokered over 2,000 buildings in New York City. Extremely successful, big time, financially, in every single way of life. He's an icon in New York City. And it's fascinating what he said. He's years into this. He shared, that after he loses a client, right, somebody that does not choose him to represent them in the sale of their property, does not choose him as the broker, chose somebody else. He waits a couple of weeks, and then he calls that client and says, please tell me why you did not choose to buy my service. Tell me why not. Now, you're talking about the king in his arena. He still asks that question every single time because he's going to school. He wants to learn. He wants to know what he did wrong. He's always trying to figure that out. So he's Mr. Action. But on the other hand, he learns from his actions. That's how it happens. That's how we grow. So it's the type of learning that comes post-action that makes it happen for us, that teaches us what we need to do to make it happen. So remember, all those people that succeeded big time took a lot of action, and they learned while they're action, not by sitting in school. By taking action, that type of school is where you learn the distinctions that you need to create the life that you desire and we both know you deserve. And if you have a hard time getting yourself to follow through, I can help you. Go to my website, benjaminhalpern.com, and see what I could do for you.